Well, it's official. We're moving off our boats and back onto dry land. We've got 1 full week of boat life left before we move back to the UK. We want to make the most of our remaining time, but we've got a really big week ahead of us. As well as needing to pack up most of our belongings, we also need to make sure Delfino will be ready to cross an ocean when we get back. Although we're not going to be living aboard full time anymore, we've spent so long preparing to sail across the Atlantic that we've found a way to make it work with our plans. But what that does mean is we've got an absolute ton of stuff to do this week. So come with us as we try to cram as much as possible into our final week of boat life.
So this morning we're going to get hauled out here at Marina Rubicon. Just going to check some of the things underneath the boat and get ready for the passage. I think change the anodes, maybe check the rudder, and just give her a quick once over. I think we're only out of the water for 1 day and we've got a bit of a fancy hotel booked, which is going to be a treat. Laura's looks very happy because we've been working hard and it's hot. Should we go?
Let's do it.
Let's get out of here. I stepped on the little wooden thing. Do you want a hand as well? Are you okay, Laura?
Yeah, I'm trying to wash my phone. Our main aims for this baby haul out were to change the anodes and check for any play in our rudder or propeller shaft, or any other things under the waterline that could cause us problems for the crossing. If there was anything, we wanted to know about it now, so we'd have time to sort it out before the Atlantic in a few months. And if you're wondering why there's a sail on deck, we also dropped those off at the sailmaker in the yard for a clean, a check and a service. There's always surprises when you haul out. We weren't expecting that today's surprise is that the yard have stripped a load of our copper coat off with their pressure washers.
Just saw the guy getting way too close with it, just deleting the copper coat.
Yeah, as it first started happening, we were like, oh, there were some thin patches last time we hauled out, maybe they've just got a bit worse. And by the time you got to the keel, you can see that there were stripes forming, so we asked them to be more gentle with the second side.
Yeah, I went over to him and I said yeah, it's copper coat.
Yeah. So we were hoping that we were going to get hauled out today and get put back in tomorrow. That now seems less likely. I mean, on the plus side, I might get a week in a 5-star hotel out of this. Once everything had dried out, we had a good look at the hull, and it didn't look anywhere near as bad as it did when it was wet, apart from one side of the rudder where they'd really gone to town with the pressure washer. It's worth mentioning that we don't know how old our copper coat is, but we think it's probably about 15 years old, so it's definitely nearing the end of its life, and we know that we're going to need to sort it out properly soon. But we were really hoping to not have to do it at this particular haul out. Okay, sorry, it's quite windy, so you probably can't hear a word I'm saying, but sadly, no week in a 5-star hotel.
That's what you were gunning for, is it?
Yeah, I was like, oh no, what a shame, we can't be on the boat in the boatyard for a week. No, it would have been quite a shame, but once it dried, didn't look that bad. There's only one patch where it's really quite thin, so we're going to slap some trilocks on that one bit, and the next time we haul out, we're going to do it in a place, hopefully, with a lot more services. We're going to do a proper overhaul of the bottom. Being up on the hard is generally an unpleasant experience, but at least this boatyard had a nice view. As we were in Lanzarotte's shoulder season, we got a great deal on a fancy hotel for the night, and we made the most of it. I also got to enjoy my absolute favourite type of breakfast, a hotel buffet. But sadly, it was time to leave the fancy hotel, go back to the boatyard, and finish up the last few bits before we were put back in the water.
Today's job as part of the Atlantic prep crossing. Today's job as part of the Atlantic crossing prep is to install a new electric freshwater pump. The one we've got in there is pretty old and it sounds like it's dying a little bit, so should be a pretty easy job. Fingers crossed. Hopefully today's a bit cooler than the last couple of days. We've been really melting. Water is one of the main resources that you have to manage when you're on the Atlantic crossing. There'll be 4 of us and we carry about 400 litres. So it's really important that this pump works, and we'll also figure out a way to get water manually out of the tanks just in case this electric pump fails. Oh yeah. Oh no, not quite the same. Gonna need to drill. Time for a quick test. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Wow, that's quiet.
That's a lot quieter. So how much water have we got in the bilge?
Not a lot. I mean, a bunch of water came out obviously when I undid it all. So.
Okay.
Hi. Just thinking about how to fix this. This is the joint. Can you see that?
Just about, I think.
It's the middle joint that's leaking, so now I kind of have to undo everything I've done.
Great.
But, oh man, classic boat job. Oh, so I've broken this pump. It's the first time I've really done something like this. Basically, this thing here, it's not made to be screwed in the way I was screwing it in, and they've created new attachments, and you can see that this whole thing, there's a bit of the tape that's inside the pump there, which is a shame because this is a really nice expensive pump. And now we gotta go to the chandler and like figure out something else, but you know, shit happens, I guess. So I ended up having to buy a new pump. But anyway, that's all. It's all done in here. Bit of a mess. You ready?
No. I'm not emotionally prepared. That sounds bad.
Good?
Yeah.
That's promising.
Yeah.
All right, I think we're in business.
Since we've gotten to Lanzarote, things have been pretty intense. We've just been packing up, ready to leave the boat, doing a bit of boat work to prep for the Atlantic crossing. So that's meant doing all the jobs that we've neglected doing for the past kind of month while we've been making our way down here pretty quickly, and prepping everything to leave. It's a nice change that we don't necessarily have to worry about mould like we have in the past when we've been leaving the boat, or things freezing like we had to worry about in Brixham. But instead what we are trying to prevent is bugs getting into the boat, or kind of things like melting, which is a new challenge for me. Apparently there are cockroaches here that can get into boats, so we really want to prevent that from happening if we possibly can. And we could get ants as well, which would also not be great. So yeah, we've been double bagging all the food and making sure that we haven't got any open food left on the boat, and giving everything a really, really thorough clean. Yeah, not much else. We filmed a little bit yesterday of the water pump saga that we had, which is really not an ideal situation. But yeah, we're getting there now. We're nearly ready to leave. We've got just over 24 hours before we have to leave the boat. It's currently like chaos. There's sort of stuff everywhere. We've packed 2 out of the 4 bags that we're going to take back with us. And yeah, you can probably tell we're both feeling pretty tired and burnt out. But we have rented a car and we are going to go for a drive around the island to see it, because we haven't really seen much beyond Playa Blanca, which is where we are. And Playa Blanca has not been our favourite place that we've been on our travels. It's been pretty touristy. All the restaurants are kind of the same. So yeah, we're looking forward to seeing some of the real Lanzarote today. It turned out we didn't have enough suitcases to pack into, so our first stop was Decathlon. We then checked out some of the island's largest supermarkets to see what stock they carried. I was going to be making the largest meal plan and shopping list of my life while we were back in the UK ahead of our crossing, so I wanted to know what was in the supermarkets and if I wouldn't be able to get anything that we'd need or would routinely use. But then we finally start working and had some fun. We have come to the Timanfaya National Park and we are visiting the Mountains of Fire. We've been driving through this really cool lava field for probably about 10 minutes now, and we have now just paid our entrance fee to the park and we've got a 2-kilometre drive down to the car park where we can get off and do the bus tour. Apparently this can get really busy and you can have like an hour to 90-minute queues here, but the guy at the desk up there said that, oh no, today it's fine. So we'll see.
Today, no queue.
We managed to walk straight onto the buses that take you around the park without waiting, and we were very pleased with ourselves. And I can see why they don't just let you wander or drive yourselves around the park, because these roads were incredibly narrow, windy, and inhospitable. Timanfaya National Park has been shaped by volcanic eruptions over the years, the last of which was in 1824. The bus took us past all the various craters and lava flows, while an audio guide explained what we were looking at. It was so interesting to hear about all the activity while we got a close-up view of the crazy rock formations. And we heard how lichen, plants and animals are starting to reclaim the land, making it hospitable again. The bus tour took about half an hour, and then we were ushered into the visitor centre, where we got some proof that Timanfaya is still very volcanic. Yep, that's a hot one there. It's windy! Well, that was definitely worth doing. Ooh. Are we getting buffeted by like sand or water from the geysers?
Sand.
Wow. Some tips if you come here. Friday afternoon seems to be the best time to come. We have had no queues. We managed to walk straight onto a bus and we could see all of the like demonstrations at the end super well. And I would say sit on the right hand side or the starboard hand side of the bus for the best views. We sat on the other side, which was not the best. And bring snacks in case your husband gets really hungry halfway around and becomes a big grumpy grumps.
I think the volcanic ash triggers my allergies. All of a sudden I'm like really blocked up.
Right, time to go back to the boat. Got to finish packing, still a lot to do. But we've had a good day. We've scouted out some supermarkets. We've bought ourselves another suitcase so that we can actually pack into it. And we've seen some of the sights without having to queue. So yeah, verdict on the day. You're still really grumpy. All right, let's go home.
I spent most of the day packing up and oh my God, it's carnage. It's insane how much stuff is on this boat, although it's been really cathartic to get rid of loads of stuff and make space. But wow, it's hard work. It is hard work and it's been hot. Luckily today's got a bit of a breeze. Laura made that shade, which has been keeping the boat really cool. But yeah, I think with hindsight next time, you know, if we're moving on to a boat, I'm only going to bring stuff that I'm really happy getting trashed, getting moldy, or just living with the boat generally. There's so much stuff I'm packing that we just never used. I packed a linen jacket. Well, why am I ever going to wear a linen jacket? That doesn't make any sense. At least I was ready. I can't even get it. I got it off the sofa.
Are we sure we weighed that one properly?
I'm telling you, it's 23 kilograms. It's really heavy. How are we going to do this? What the fuck?
I'm helping. Hey!
We're on the home stretch now, Laura.
Literally.
What do you mean by literally?
We're nearly home.
Oh, right, I guess so, yeah.
Is that it?
I think that's it. I think that might be it.
It's not it. It's not it.
It is it. I think
No, it's
so.
not. Look at the back of there.
Oh god, it's not it. Okay, but this is easy. What?
I haven't packed any of my toiletries.
You've not got that many toiletries, do you? Will we manage? That's the question. I think we'll manage. We're almost there. Just to give you a sense of what we're working with here. We've got, let me take you around them. One Patagonia, which is right at the maximum capacity of hand luggage, so that Laura will have that on her back. Big North Face, so that's going to be check luggage.
That currently weighs 21 kilos.
Yeah, that's 21 kilograms. That thing's like 15. That's got like cameras and laptops in it and stuff.
And that's your hand luggage.
If I go upstairs, we've got 3 more bags. That one, which is 22 kilograms, that one's 23 kilograms, and this one's currently 21 kilograms. So, I mean, we're right at the capacity. And we paid for extra weight, extra luggage, so. Yeah, it's been intense. Put that on top of all of the boat work that we've done, including installing new D-rings on the deck and replacing the freshwater pump that you saw a little bit of. And yeah, it's been intense.
So I'm just doing the final clean of the galley and emptying the fridge out and giving that all clean. And when we hauled out, we had to turn the fridge off because it's cooled by the water. There's like the heat exchanger down in the through hole for the sink. So what that meant was when we hauled out, all of the water around the freezer melted, and I forgot to clean it out. And then when we turned the fridge back on, it's refrozen and it's now in a big lump, which at least makes it easier to get the water out actually. So to be honest, I might do that again in future, because now I can just take the ice out of the container that it's frozen into, put it in the sink, or chuck it overboard and let it melt. So yeah, actually that's worked out quite well.
Nicely done, Laura.
I am exhausted and fed up with this now. Buy a boat, they said. It'll be fun, they said. Stop filming, put this away.
Freaky. You come downstairs and it's getting to that point where everything's being left open and all the stuff's being removed, and yeah, it's a weird feeling. It all happens in such a rush that you don't really have time to like process. I'm really glad that we're coming back to try and cross the Atlantic though.
Yeah, I think if we weren't coming back, this would feel a lot stranger and it would feel a lot more permanent and final. It does feel final in a way because we're not going to be living on Delfino in the same way as we have been for the past kind of best part of 18 months, apart from our like little holiday off the boat last winter. This has been our home and we're going to have a few months of transition now. And, you know, like living on a boat is hard. It's not particularly comfortable, but it does give you the ability to experience some...
Sorry.
Excuse me.
Sorry.
I'm being emotional over
Yeah.
here. But it does give you the chance to experience some things that you wouldn't otherwise, and get to go to some amazing places. And I've loved some of the places that we've been on Delfino. But I'm also ready for life to be a little bit easier and a little bit less hard work. And I've been dealing with some health things in the background over the past couple of months, which have made the extra energy that you need to live on board just like really hard. So I am looking forward to life being a little bit easier for a while. I don't actually think we've said to camera for YouTube what we are planning to do. So Stu has had a job offer in New York, which they want him to start at the end of February, and it's currently the start of October. So we're going to take a couple of months off the boat to reset our Schengen days, which we were always planning to do. And then we were always planning to come back across the Atlantic. We were originally planning to cruise the Caribbean for the next season until about June time, which is sadly no longer going to happen, but the job opportunity is really exciting. We were planning to do 2 years on the boat, and this does cut that a little bit short, but it's a really good opportunity and we're both looking forward to some land time for a little while. So yeah, mixed feelings about what's happening today. It definitely doesn't... Stu's making a load of noise up on deck. I don't know if that'll come out in the camera, but yeah, we're nearly ready to go, and we're super grateful to people that are going to host us for the next couple of months while our living situation is kind of in flux and we can't be here, but we also can't be in New York yet. So we'll see how things go. But I'm going to miss Delfino. She's been a good home for us. Bye, Delphi!
Almost forgot. Left an open bag of crisps on board. Luckily Laura remembered. Wow, it really does happen all very quickly. Crisps? Ruffles?